This is Dave. He tells jokes for a living. Hopefully, he makes people laugh. But these days, it's a high-stakes game.
If you can't tell, this is a Deuce Ace review for the new Dave Chappelle stand-up special, Sticks and Stones.
Special edition.
What?
Special edition.
This is the new Deuce Ace for Sticks and Stones Special edition.
I'm most likely gonna leave that in there. So I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this is Deuce and Ace,
Bro to the Movies. You know, we may be a little rusty in this video. It's been
about a month.
Yeah, been a while since we put out some new content.
We were vacating, had a family reunion.
You know, doing big things. He got his thing, I got my things.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're back.
We're back.
You know you missed us.
You know you missed us.
It's Deuce and Ace.
Ace and Deuce.
DNA. All right. So, you know, Dave Chappelle back at it again. Brand new Netflix special. Did you see his first couple specials?
He's released 4, and this is the 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first one seeing. Yeah, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, Dave Chappelle fan. I got hold up, pause. Like before, dang on me, dog.
Come on, man, let me
Come on, dang. Like, why you on me? But before anybody accuses me of not being a Dave Chappelle fan, don't get it twisted. Like,
man,
I can't find for what it's worth, but don't get it twisted. I got season 3 somewhere too, so like, don't get it
this
twisted.
This stuff is over 15 years old, dog. Like, I remember being 10 years old watching the Chappelle show. Probably shouldn't have been watching it, but hey, it made me who I am today.
Yeah, Chappelle fan in the house. So, you know, just, I don't know. I haven't watched many comedy specials on Netflix until tonight. We watched it together, man. Sticks and Stones, and I know it's a lot going online right now, but we just had to discuss it. We had to break it down. This is real. This is raw comedy. Dave Chappelle, GOAT status, baby. Oh, by the way, be sure to follow us on Bro to the Movies, Twitter, IG.
Very awkward plug. Not smooth at all. Can we
Not smooth.
Get some transitions, please?
Yeah, you know, GOAT status. Like, oh my gosh, like comedic genius. Like, Ace, come on, man.
Dave Chappelle has always been my favorite comedian. You know, love the show, love the stand-up specials. When he took his, you know, his sabbatical, his hiatus, we were always wanting more Dave Chappelle. And ever since he came back, I've been loving the Netflix stand-ups. I watched all of them at least twice, and when this new one came out, I was like, yo, Deuce, we got to drop the review for the people.
He was like that.
But you know who Dave Chappelle is. You know the accolades. You know the comedic genius. You know who
he is. And if you don't, what's wrong with you?
It's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, it's Dave Chappelle, and sure, you could say he's evolved, you could say he's changed, but to me, it's just society has changed, and he changed with it. And anything that you want to talk about this past year that was controversial or, you know, was in the news, was on Twitter, whatever, he addressed it, and he kept it real. Like, this was raw realness, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I have a love for his style of comedy. You know, he can talk about some real serious stuff. He can talk about some social and political issues, and then he comes with the most absurd, out of the left field joke, and he's just cracking up. We're laughing, we're crying. Just a great experience.
Great experience. I got a list of topics that he discussed. We're not gonna go break it down. Well, I'm just read off the topics.
Hold on, man. A little spoilery in case I haven't seen it. Let's just give a score.
You're right.
But before we give the score, like us on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe, share on YouTube. You know, hit us up, drop some comments down below. Let us know what you want to see next. We got some things in the works that we think you're going to enjoy.
We definitely think you're going to enjoy it. Like Men's Warehouse says, you're going to like how we make you feel.
That's not the quote.
What did they say?
It's like, you're going to love the way you look. I guarantee it.
So these scores, bro. Let's get these scores in, man.
All right, 3, 2, 1,
10.
8. No.
10.
Let me preface this by saying...
Preface. Stomach growl. I'm sorry. Pretty hungry.
Let me preface this by saying I don't think this is his best stand-up. You know, his best stand-up would be a 10 out of 10. So if I'm going just based off of the Dave Chappelle scale, this is an 8 for him. You know, any other comedian blows him out of the water. But I enjoyed it so much, but I have seen better work from him.
Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't seen the 4 previous Netflix specials. Killing Them Softly, for what it's worth. You know, I used to watch those like weekly back in the day. You know, 11th, 12th grade.
Early 2000s.
But I can just say it's a 10 because I have nothing wrong with it. It may not be the best, but like he could consistently put out 10s. So I'm saying it's a 10. The Deuce Ace official score is a 9 out of 10. This is a must see. It's comedic gold. Comedic gold. So, you know, talk about suicide, celebrities, and bringing up the past. R. Kelly, Kevin Hart, homosexuals in Atlanta. Some words versus some other words. This is a family channel.
Some slurs versus some other slurs.
Yeah, some slurs. As he referred to the alphabet community. Equality between men and women. Me Too. Sexism. Abortion. Child support. Gun violence. Gun drills. Mental health. Drug abuse. Health epidemics.
This dude got a whole list of stuff, man. This is
being poor, and the French actor Juicy Smollett. Google him. He's on Empire.
Oh my goodness, dog. So I don't even know where to start with all of that. What was your favorite bit?
I'm just laughing to him in my mind. But this was one seamless like orb of this comedic genius. So I just enjoyed the whole thing. I mean, again, this is a family channel. You know, we want your kids to be able to watch this. So the part that I laughed the most at, I'm not going to say. But if you remember, is when he's talking about the shotgun.
Yeah.
But what came before going to get the shotgun? That was my funniest part.
All right, man. To me, I don't know if it was my funniest part, but probably the part I enjoyed the most. I think like the same joke really. Talk about the drug epidemic between like the crack epidemic in the 80s and the opioid epidemic now, because that's like a conversation I've had before, thoughts I've had, like, well, you know what's up. In the 80s they were prosecuting black youth, black in the inner cities for crack. Now it's a health epidemic. And he was talking about, well, it should have always been a health crisis, not locking people up for drug use. And I say, probably because it could form my own views, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, what I enjoy about this, like Chappelle Show, he's always been socially conscious. He's always had underlines to his jokes. Like, he's going to give you this setup, and then you know something else is coming after it. So it's the same setup, but there's so much going on in society, all the things that I listed off, and he lets his opinion be known of it. Like, sure, it's comedy, but in every joke, there's a shred of truth. And so he's just keeping it real. He's having a discussion with the audience, be it at the actual place, be it us watching Netflix at home. And it's like, man, all the people who find offense to this, man, what do you say to that?
I don't... he does talk about like the cancellation culture of nowadays, where people, they go into something looking like, oh, I'm going to be offended by this, and look to get X canceled. But, you know, he had the one thing he said, like, you clicked on my face to watch this. You know who Dave Chappelle is. You know he's going to be semi-controversial. Also, it's comedy. Everyone can have different opinions, but everyone can laugh at everyone else. If you can't laugh at yourself, I don't even know how you get through life. He makes fun of the LGBTQ plus community. He makes fun of blacks, whites, just anyone under the sun. He makes fun of it, and it's all equal. So I don't understand why people are up in arms about anything in this. The title of the thing is Sticks and Stones, as in sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Why are you letting his words hurt you?
You know, like, I'm tired of the cancel culture, man. We don't get too political on Deuce Ace.
Even though we should.
We stick to strictly cinema. And because, you know, we're cinemaphiles. Hey, what movie we watch today, man? The first science fiction movie, man.
A Trip to the Moon.
Trip to the Moon. This is what we do.
Garbage movie.
Amazing movie. Anyway, and so it's like, as bros, you know, we just like to dissect a movie, but we also talk. We talk for hours, like on the phone, in person, about
like, dog, hang on.
about society and just things. And these are the things he talked about. And we live in a day and age where if you go against the status quo or the main argument at this time, you're canceled. You're not allowed to formulate your own opinion and have views. And I'm just glad that Dave Chappelle is still fearless, and is putting in that work. So if you got a problem with this stand-up, you got a problem with us talking in a positive light about this stand-up, please subscribe. Don't cancel us, but let it be known that if you do, it's a sacrifice we got to make.
I think we have to be on to be canceled, first of all. You know, we're growing, we're going to get there. But, yeah, man, I completely agree. Even if you disagree with the points that he's making, I mean, I didn't agree with everything he said, you know.
I did.
You know, some of us are individuals, but even if you disagree with something, you don't have to be outraged at it, like, oh, he shouldn't have this platform to speak on whatever he believes in. I mean, I'm a firm believer in free speech. If you believe what you believe, you have the right to say something, and others have the right to criticize you or, you know, talk back about it, but don't try to silence them and be like, oh, don't support Dave Chappelle anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing, too. Like, there's consequences to freedom of speech, but I don't think it should be a consequence that just because someone disagrees that they can't have the platform to speak again. I don't care who you are. Even if I agree with you or I don't, like,
as long as it's not like extremely destructive speech, like, you know, like,
yes,
fascist.
I'm talking about literal just a difference of opinions.
Yeah.
In regards to Me Too culture, in regards to R. Kelly, Michael Jackson. After Survivor R. Kelly came out, there was debates. I mean, maybe I started them all.
Yeah, I never watched it, and this is all this dude was talking about.
But maybe there are debates. In regards to even calling it the alphabet community. Again, he says a word that, you know, is taboo. And he puts emphasis on the word. But when you look at why he's doing that versus another word that's being said, you got to ask yourself the question, why is that the case? Watch the special. You know what we're talking about. Yeah, so, I mean, in regards to gun violence, in regards to opioids and heroin and crystal meth, like, certain, you know, positions and points are taken that, you know, go against the status quo. You know, again, we're not going to dissect it. We're not going to go over each joke. We just wanted to say, watch this special. If you like Dave Chappelle, watch. If you like comedy, watch.
I don't think anyone doesn't like comedy.
It's some sticks in the mud that don't like comedy.
I mean, they may have a different idea of what comedy is, but they're not going to be like, oh, I don't like comedy.
if you like social, economic type conversations, this is a conversation starter. Watch this special.
Have a conversation with us. We would love to talk with you, the viewer, the fan. Pick your brain. See where you stand on these things. Let you see where we stand on these things.
Comment right below. So yeah, man. That's all. Deuce Ace gave it a 9 out of 10. We just heard a lot about it, so we just wanted to, you know, give our spiel and, you know, let the people know. Must watch.
Nothing more needs to be said. It's Dave Chappelle. You gotta watch it. And you gotta watch us.
You do. Subscribe, baby. I'm Deuce.
I'm Ace.
And this has been Deuce and Ace, Bro to the Movies. Out.